What's up guys, it's Talon here, and in today's video we're going to take a look at how you can improve your solo cash cup performance by analyzing top EU pro NoahReyli. But before I get into this VOD review guys, if you do enjoy my content or find what I'm telling you helpful, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. Also, if you wish to support me in another way, use code Talon.fn in the Fortnite item shop, #ad. But without further ado, let's just jump right in. Alright guys, as you can see on the screen, we have NoahReyli's POV. He is going to have an insane cash cup, getting 4 victory royales, I believe, and just lots and lots of high kill, high action, high octane, and just intelligent plays overall. Let's just jump right in. He's going to be landing here at Believer Beach, or Sweaty Sands, whatever you prefer. Now we see some good aim on display here, good hip fire aim, good crosshair placement. Ends up switching from the burst to the regular AR. He's going to get a free elimination on someone that probably should have at least won that fight, but ends up not happening. Now you're going to see him just dominate this entire lobby. Off spawn is off spawn, but just not building a lot. He plays very, very, very patient. Nice peeks right here. Good crosshair placement for fast edits. Takes it once and then is trying to pickaxe bait because the opponent's weak and gets an easy elimination just with the pickaxe bait switches. Someone else pushes up on him, but he's got a good refresh of mats. Now here's such a good example of a full box. Look at this peek right here, right hand, 115, pretty even trade for the most part. Just take a look at that movement, one right hand peek. Notice immediately as he's going for the shot right here. So, one, he kind of boxes him, the opponent kind of looks a little lost. He does get a decent amount of return damage, I'm not going to lie. But work with a great pump. He gets pretty much most of the pieces in there. He does have that front wall, but this is a nice right-hand peek. Notice he edits it like that, 115. He does eat a good chunk of change of damage. But then he edits it like this, right-hand peek. The opponent misses, and I believe the opponent had a lever, so you'll be much more confident taking that peek versus a lever. You're probably more than likely not going to get hit that significantly hard again. The lever being one of the just an off-spawn gun pretty much in this meta. Now this action is really going to ramp up in this situation. Person comes at him with a vehicle. This is super weird. I've seen this now in like the last couple of VOD reviews. I don't know if it's like stream snipers. So he doesn't even know what's going on, but he gets basically gifted ton of loot and a good pump now. Sits right here. We're going to see some great things in this engagement. This peek is fantastic, and I want to talk about one thing with this peek that's very subtle that allows it to be successful. Pickaxe bait cuts off piece control, and he's now going to get a spaz. But what I'm really going to talk about here on this particular angle, that's something that just, it looks like a lot harder than it is. And so when he's pushing up on this box and he does this nice little like peek where he's one layer above, he's protected, all of that, and this type of edit with this cone, I want to talk about one thing. So notice he gets here, he sits up here, he gets a nice little peek, and it creates that nice wide six-tail edit. Now notice how you can't see the opponent. For this peek to actually work, you have to actually move backwards, and that's exactly what NoahReyli does here. Look, you see how he's moving backwards with this peek? Because now he has that visual, and you can really see the person that's sitting back on the back side of the cone. It gets front. It just allows him, so he plays the front of that particular box. Now you're going to see him cut off. Now, fantastic pickaxe bait, right? Completely gets this opponent baited, and fantastic crosshair placement. 129, and then he just full pieces right here. The opponent just kind of sits there, knows that he's dead, even if he hits a bailout. He's going to get a free elimination and a spaz. Fantastic. One, pickaxe baiting, always great to do, especially when you've done a lot of damage on an opponent. An opponent to get the big pot is more than likely going to try to either create space, play super defensive, or get counter damage to trade heals. This situation, that's exactly what ends up happening, but NoahReyli expecting it, prepare it, good crosshair placement to finish it off. This is so good right here, sitting there right. This is so good. I'm just going to replay it over. One thing I want to talk about is nice and tight to the wall right here. Nice and tight. Notice again, he gets that cone off, which caused him to bounce, but then look, it's immediately tight to the wall. Why? he gives him time to pull out his shotgun, and he gets protected, and then it's a quick jump peek. If you sit there more on the right, or if you sit further back, it's easier to hit. One thing with peanut butter peeks, you want to make sure to play super tight on the wall if you're not going to do the traditional defensive box and follow the edit. If you want to sit there, you just want to play tight to the wall. This is exactly what ends up happening. Gets a free elimination. Does that same type of peek before. Opponent is not there. Now you're fighting Spaz against Lever. You got to be incredibly confident. So you're going to definitely push this fight. General, make sure he blocks off all ways, and then that's such a nice, just good aim. Notice how he goes away from the opponent's piece control. That's like a, you know where all that loot was in the opponent's is? So burn on those mats, right? He's got that refresh of mats. Creates a lot of space to get his heals off. And I bet you what ends up happening in that situation too is if you're in a situation that opponent pushes and hears that spaz, you're like, if you're intelligent, especially if you got something like a lever. This is something we see in the Dave VOD review a lot. The opponent is one on edge zone and wood, a good indication of not the best player, but just more often you see a lot of mouse. Just this needs to just be done more often. The pickaxe can definitely get you in trouble a lot of the times. Spraying with the AR, one, just usually prevents people from editing out on you, so it's always good to pressure your opponents with AR to get wall. Now, this is so annoying that you can land in cars and can't do any damage anymore. And then look at that 23 damage again. If you're fighting Lever, you should feel very confident. Fantastic creates a right-hand peek. Blocks off the third party. For some reason, the Spaz is hitting like a wet napkin. Pickaxe bait right there. He wants the opponent to edit out on him. And the good crosshair placement. And again, when you play that range against that Lever, you're going to be so successful. Fantastic pre-fire right here as well. Pre-bucks. Oh my god. Piece. Pre-fire piece. This is just good recognition. And all pre-fires are all crosshair placement and timing. And it's reaction time. It's a little bit of ping too as well. So we see him finishing off this engagement. Let's just go right here. So we got a little bit of like 10 chip damage previously on this opponent. Now, we see double edit, right? So what a better opponent would do would triple edit and get that front wall piece. So he attempts that. A better opponent would place that wall first when he's editing through. It's going to be really difficult to do. But, and then right here we get hit a nice 118. We got front side wall. Notice that crosshair placement too. It's just perfect. He's able to edit through. Good peek. He gets the cone. Look at this swing back to the left as well. Boom. Gets that nice swing back to the left. He takes no damage. He places that cone there from a wide angle. Again, when you're looking to W key in your solo cash cup games, if you are confident in your mechanics, have good loot, it's early. You see this, right? You see someone boxed up on edge side zone in a 33. Notice taking a right-hand peek, not jumping directly on the wall. Does the same type of thing here. Now this is 100. This guy's just spraying a P90, not even using a shotgun. I don't think he even had a shotgun. And the same thing, person using a car to rotate, the opponent realizes it. Full box. Cracks for 100. The opponent can't really do anything, right? You just got to sit there and make sure you hit your shots. That's the one thing in this situation. Now this guy has negative ping. Now Noah's not a high ping player by any regard, but this is pretty incredible.
Minus.
Look at this.
Give me a f***ing ball. 180, 200. You're a with that ping.
That's actually crazy that someone has that type of ping is actually that bad. On a scuff layer again, you can kind of see that's probably one of the cruxes of the EU region is the fact that there's so many players. There's probably just a significant amount of more bad players early on. Look at the my goodness, the full piecage. So that's something that I've just kind of noticed too. Is just like these early EU games, you'll have a lot of just significant bad players because there's just so many. But it's like the top of the top is really really good, but the bottom of the bottom is really bad. You see a lot of guys just boxing up on edge zone with horrible mats. Hits a nice 130, and this is just piece control. Now, one thing I'd love that he does here, he does not follow the piece control. This is a common thing I see with myself and just way less skilled players. They always have escape routes, right? We talk about escape routes. There's always an escape route. Look, now the guy's full pieced. He's sniffing the ramp. He just sniffed the wall. He's just lost. Now get someone that's probably a little bit better. Probably not going to happen. But notice, like, someone that's better is probably going to more focus on maybe if they get double edited One way to counter double it, it's just good crosshair placement, and you take a trade usually. But really, really intelligent right there, just to not fly in wildly. Treat every opponent as if they are super high skill, and build those good habits. Now box fighting this opponent. Now we get a rare double swing here. Fantastic escape route. 28 versus 100. One thing I always talk about, this clip is absolutely nasty. Now, I do not know. I want to see if he saw this right here. I'm going to play this full through so you can appreciate it because it's absolutely disgusting. He forces the opponent to be uncomfortable.
Beast!
Oh my goodness! It's just it's so good. It's preemptive piece control. We saw something. We saw Reed do this previously, but the thing that gets that opponent moving is this cone that NoahReyli places through. When you're in this situation coming from underneath, it's always good to come from underneath because you can always get in. Even if you spray through, if you couch up the last second, the cone will not be able to hold you. But look, he looks in, and this is good vision too, looks in, sees no opponent. So what is that opponent's only play? Go down. So that's why he smacks one, immediately realizes, oh, he's in the cone, he only has one play. So good recognition. He full boxes everything, and then gets a full piece. The clip is so nice, and that all starts with that cone from underneath.
Gold spaz, you bitches.
Gets a gold spaz. Now, I've seen the actual full video of this. It's unfortunate they didn't show him how he survives in one of this late games. It's 20 and moving, so actually pretty decent. Not crazy bad. I guess it's not moving. It's now just a fifth. Now he gets fried for a little bit. He gets pressured like this a lot. The opponent he's fighting is not bad, but notice burning mats, like only 300 builds. Now this is trusting your aim. I'm telling you, this is probably not the smart play. So he's even surprised, but that reaction's great. But look, I mean, look, what are his choices here, right? He needs a refresh, 380, 84. He's going to be in wood, so he's more than likely going to get lobby sprayed. And then he just hits. He hits a big boy shot, and he gets just a good refresh of mats. Now, I'm telling you, the fact that he makes this rotate was absolutely nuts. I'm telling you, he probably was 555 and he just got held the entire way. He was weak HP. Look, he got over here. Look what he had. He had 4 builds. And the guy he kills is super stacked. Look at him. He's 505. And look, and you can kind of see that in these early on games, it's like usually hype plays are free. Look at this. This is also, again, one of what you're going to see in these later on games. This is what NoahReyli does so well. He takes height and holds height at an insane rate. It does not matter the lobby. That's what he does endgame. Sorry guys, there was an ad. Let's continue. So I was just stating his strategy in the early tournaments, obviously W key early. We're going to see him switch his drop spot as well and more stacked. You could tell there's a clear plan in place. But NoahReyli's ability to take height is fantastic. Now that opponent fortunately dies. The opponent he cracks, ends up dying to zone. 18 eliminations placement. And then again, you see the more stacked lobby, 50 individuals. Gets a free AR elimination. Now he's going to die here. He gets on a very scuff flare. This is kind of the thing where you get in these situations. But notice the attempt to just create a lot of space. He's getting basically lobbied, which there isn't much he can do. The opponent just does a great job of getting in.
Oh my god, no.
So not the best second game. And then we're game number 4. And this is, you're going to see a common... He kind of, when he wants to play a little bit more reserved, he's going to stay and land at this building on top of the hills over by the boat. Now that cone was fantastic. I thought he got it off, but the opponent actually faces up. Good angle right here. The opponent's getting caught taking minis. And that's actually so fighting an actually professional player. Eye drop. Wins the fight off spawn. Someone's P90ing in his box. He has a lot of minis, so he's going to just end up... And again, use mats, double box.
So much fun playing this, nigga. Woo! What's up, Travis? Woo!
This is something I also want to talk about. If you're that Travis Scott skin, this is so bad to do. This is called what I like to call telegraphing. Like, telegraphing, one, it's even worse because he just ate a decent shotgun shot, but it's just so obvious what's going to happen. So, what? He hits him for, like, 99. So, he's sitting here at 100 HP, and we don't know if he's shambles or not. But look, there's this ramp here. I was like, yeah, I'm at health advantage, and I trust my aim. So, I'm going to literally just pre-fire you breaking in, and I just now only have to hit you one time. That's exactly what ends up happening, right? That's telegraphing. If it's already there, it was such an obvious play. And one wasn't just super intelligent. Look at all this mats, pad, all this stuff. There's no reason for him to just fly in there. So if you're that Travis Scott skin, don't. Learn how not to telegraph if you're going to exploit in. Now this poor guy.
Take him out, take him out, take him out. Come on, Freddy White, take him out. Take him out. Come on.
NoahReyli's commentary is fantastic.
Get him out, get him out. Get him out of here. Yeah, get him out of here. Twitch David, bro. What are you doing?
And then the same thing. And then look at this. Creates 3 boxes. Why? Why burn all those mats? He's just got a refresh. He's already built over to it. He's going to just get those mats right back. The guy just came in with a car. Look at that again. Gets a good refresh. Now 49 people in the zone, so a good amount. Staggering your AR pressure is a great way. Because what ended up happening, what happens? If you let off with the AR pressure, it's like, okay, he's like... the person thinking, oh, heal off, I can kill, I got my minis out, and then you get that bleed through if you stagger your AR pressure. Notice he goes for it, he blocks all his ways off, right? He's got a lot of people around him, and then what does he do? Creates... This is like such a... One, he's at significant health advantage, but when I'm talking about, like, not super telegraphing it, one, they're on a scuffed flare, but one, he gets to the wall, one tap, then places the ramp and go. It's not like the ramp's sitting there waiting, and you can kind of already see it. Protect, like, what is that guy going to do? It's an exploit. Gets a nice free kill. As you say, now we're going to see the fantastic tracking on display. Right here, look at this. Now these guys should have probably low padded. I don't know if they high padded.
That's NoahReyli tracking.
So he gets a nice... Look at the tracking. It's actually fantastic.
That's NoahReyli tracking.
It's 2 eliminations, and then you're going to see him get another one when zone pulls the opposite way. 3 eliminations out of the air just with good tracking. Absolutely lasers. This opponent gets...
NoahReyli tracking. Look at it.
I don't know what else that guy could have done. Maybe he could have high padded. That's just super unfortunate. Good. Sitting here on dead side. Look at this. Look how much space he controls on this. He doesn't even have to build to the side. Again, when you're rotating, you want to find that dead side in solos. And then this is one. It's just visual, but again, it's like it's never going to be in the middle of the circle where you're going to have to protect all sides. All right, you want to be on an edge. This guy tanks a little bit of storm, and this is an immediate key. Fantastic. He's going to get a nice little refresh. Now, I thought it was interesting. He didn't take floppers there, takes chug splashes. And now what you're going to see, this is the crux of NoahReyli's game, and this is going to be the theme of the late game of most of the rest of this fight. We were in stack lobbies. He's popping off. It is how to take height. And NoahReyli looks at height constantly. He just got a refresh, so he even takes a pad to height. And the opponent actually hits a very nice damage shot on him. But due to that refresh... So you can tell, okay, makes the attempt for height, but then gives it up, right? Knows when to give it up, but he's still going to play a decent amount for it. Decides to drop, creates his own nice fresh lair, and then he's going to conserve tarp in with wood, save his hard mats for later, and he goes, oh, okay, you're still trying to hold height? Opponent on height doing a good job. But never being super duper passive in the end game, right? Still looking for height. Still trying to make for plays. He wants that high ground. And he's still got a decent enough mats to do it. Film pulls a little bit far. Make sure he blocks himself off. And then he's like, okay, I'll give it up. I'll drop layer. Making sure to cover his top. Obviously he knows that he has an opponent above him. He's sitting here waiting at backside maybe to sneak up. And then he just decides to give it up. Gets it again on Crack's height. Sitting on that side where, again, hugging the side of Storm. Gets his mats off. Or not his mats off. Gets his heels off. Takes a little bit soon to get the big pot. And then finally gets rewarded. Now this is so unfortunate. Notice again, going for height, he finally did take it, but the only issue is he went down to try to grab these mats. The opponent actually makes a good play and kind of baits that. And then the opponent does a good job of piece controlling.
No, why?
And then unfortunate, but you're going to see that is the recipe for success.
No.
And like 9+ eliminations, so you'll definitely take that. Again, we're at the same off-spawn fight. It doesn't follow the piece control there, right? Opponent's kind of probably... You see him drop right there. Free elimination.
Oh, my... Oh.
The gun doesn't shoot. Buddy's fighting lever. One of the worst guns.
Bro, my gun doesn't shoot.
Green pump.
Look at him and just stare at him and say hello or something. Like.
And that's how you can tell there's a problem with weapon balance. Gold shotgun versus green shotgun, and you're taking the green shotgun. We see a very interesting loadout. Usually you see either just pump AR 3 hill. You don't usually see pump AR. Sorry guys, there was an ad. Let's continue. So we don't get to see the rest of that particular game, but he just gets the AR elimination there. Now he loses to a guy that is 50-50ing. Again, you see the lever hitting for a decent amount of damage, but not enough. Oh, this is so good. This is something you could really do. One, it's always bad to just jump down willy-nilly, but it's even worse if you're not placing cones as you do it. And you see NoahReyli just take advantage of that. Your opponent tries to jump on through, down, and the opponent just literally catches the opponent off guard and he just gets whacked. P90, so good for pressure. Good reload management before jumping down. Crack for 90. Notice he covers off his angles from third parties. And again, he's probably not having as successful of tournament, so what does he do? Opponent actually makes a good play right there, but it doesn't hit for a lot. Sitting back the hone, back with the cone. Now this is not a bad play to make. He just telegraphs it a little bit. This is one of my favorite moves, but you got to make sure to make it correctly. And a good reload management here, but what ends up happening, the opponent actually just ends up shooting the wall out smartly. That was another play. But there's opponent can't do much. Look at this angle right here too. He's sitting here sitting back the cone. The opponent's doing the best he absolutely can. Now he's got Spaz Golden Scar for this game. Sitting at almost near CAC mats. So what do I always say? I say 5th zone refreshes are your best friends. This opponent gets in. 90, good crosshair placement, and free elimination. Now you got a lot of mats to extend with, play with. He's nearly capped. Good tracking right there out of the air. Getting into a gold scar. And then probably just some bad loot, honestly. Good launch pad. And then this is again the same thing. Looking for height. Gets far ahead. Look at his mats. He's 5-0. He's looking at ways he can just kind of selectively look for it. Notices there's 2 people currently in it. He actually kind of fullbacks the opponent. The opponent's single building, 70 damage, so he's going to PG for it. But that's just enough. The opponent gives it up. Such a good high take, and that's just getting ahead, looking front, and taking advantage. And he's going to do this throughout the rest of these games. Fantastic. Now he's spraying with the AR. The opponent ends up dying to zone. And then we see Harpoon, right? In these super stack lobbies, very advantageous. Now, got a little bit of mat refresh, but not a significant amount. Good job of it then building over his opponent's builds. This is going to allow him to not have to worry about getting chopped out. Now he's in wood. But again, he's staying ahead right here. He's looking back for free elimination, so he's going to spray through here. The opponent gets it. And this is where the Harpoon comes in. You see, just notice how he was looking for it, see if you get elimination, and he just went down and reconnected at the right time, and then immediately second height just gets sprayed off. You want to bully that guy off, especially if they're in metal. You want to get those people that can come and take height away from you away. It looks like he's finally sprayed out his mats. Night zone, 5 eliminations. Still got 300 builds to play with. Cracks for a little bit. And again, doing just a good job. Gets a fantastic, and then again, immediate harpoon. Notices he can't get it. Now this would be the time to get it, so he doesn't have to jump down, give height. See someone breaking it underneath. He gets siphon mat a little bit out of it. Nope, the opponent ends up just deciding leaving it. He gets like, again, siphon mat, siphon metal. Fantastic, and does the same thing. He now denies most of the mats for the person below him. And now he's sitting in decent, like 300-ish in ninth. He's got meat to play heal off. Now notice he just sits here, waits, aimed in the whole time, knowing where that opponent's going to be. 100, the opponent runs into storm, going to insta die. And then he just pre-fires, gets an easy, and he just plays that well. Again, what do I say? You don't really need to drop from height. You kind of want to let that either be a 1v1v1, but what does he do instead? He gets off ahead, cuts off, plays that actually even better, in my opinion, than just letting those two fight. He had the mats to do it. He gets up, he gets ahead, he cuts off, he gets a free 2 eliminations. I don't know what it is. NoahReyli is the master of getting the gold P90. We've seen it a lot this VOD review. The guy almost jebaited him, I'm not going to lie. It was a good, decent play. This is off spawn, so a little bit scuffed. The guy he's fighting, I believe this is a very good fight between these two players. And then you see kind of the sample situation, the shambles situation that he's in. Not a lot of builds, but this is, you want to burn out. You can see here, recognizing that he doesn't have a lot of ammo. Look, he has no extra ammo. Whatever's just in the guns that he has. This is so good. Good. Ends up winning, and then 13. God, that shot is so nice. He decides to get up at such a poor angle visually, so he resets the angle. Kind of slow plays everything, not rushing anything, right? He doesn't have a significant amount of... This opponent does a good job right here. No, not recognizing he has that. Opponent hits for a little bit. Trying to pre-fire right there. Oh, fantastic though. Good, just slow playing, right? Not playing super aggressive, not overzealous. And he needs a refresh, right? Look at his 127. He gets the nice spray through right there. And then we kind of fast forward. Look, our ammo situation is much improved. And then the kind of same thing. He's gonna sit here and do a nice height take. He's gonna sit here, wait back as long as he can. Just crouches a little bit PGs, and then the mechanics are here on display. Conan hit him for 86, and then immediately P90 pressure off. I really like the P90 AR combo. It allows him to get kills with AR, and the P90 just allows him to literally just pressure anybody that's near him. Trying to get the elimination. Notice opponent's in wood. He's just spraying through, and he gets it on Castry. And then you're going to see him just use this P90 and abuse it. Spray the entire lobby. That's why it's just very interesting. You don't see usually both carriages. You see they're just pump P90. 3 heal. And look, it's just absolutely just lasering people. It has such good bleed through damage. But now he was doing that to get opponents away. Off from him, he wants to save his AR, and he's still cracking opponents. And then again, it's all brought to you by that height take, that looking for height. He's seeing wood, so he's just going to continually spray. Unfortunately for Noah as well, it goes over a significant amount of old builds. So he's going to just kind of get up higher. He owns a lot of the builds. So why would he want to sit there low? The placement's going to benefit him a lot more. Now he's sprayed out. I mean, this is a good example of just using your loadout to your maximum potential. You'll see a lot of people just sit there, be stagnant on height. Why be stagnant, you know? If you got all this, that's another great thing about it. He's wasted all this light ammo. He still's got 300 AR to use. And it's just anything in wood. You see most people are going to be out using wood in this situation. They don't have a lot of mats. We're in ninth. And again, sitting on height and not dropping down recklessly. Getting 2 eliminations. Or not 2 eliminations. 2 people do get eliminated. He kills the last person and he just cuts him off. It's a nice little pump. And plays that perfectly. That's to see kind of more of the traditional 1v1v1. So before, it's just kind of different contrasting styles, but I feel like this situation, not as good on mats, right? So what do? We let those two fight, and then we go cut off. The other one, we do the same thing. We cut off, but we cut off still when the other two opponents are up. We have more mats. We have more confidence we can get back up if we need to. So plays it differently. And he's been excellent off spawn. This is how you do well in your solo cash cups. Playing fantastic off spawn. He hasn't had a misstep off spawn. Nice right hand peek, 43. They both bought blue pumps. There is a vending machine out there. That's why he usually always has pumps. He's trying to edit him down when he jumps down. That ends up not happening. Notice kind of before he chops anything, blocking his way off. The opponent gets in.
Get the fuck out, you fuck.
So very fortunate, I'm not going to lie. This is probably not his best moment here. This can end up happening when you end up here not paying attention to your top. And he's worried about farming. He actually gets caught off horribly. And the opponent actually hits him.
Get the fuck out, you fucking... Huh?
Just a great job. Just a fantastic job. Just winning your 50-50. I mean, there's not much to be said other than that. And the opponent had a lever too, which probably contributed. Good recognition. Hits it for a little bit. The opponent steals it. Good exit. Now he's getting pressured by someone else. Does a good job of letting them kind of focus. 33 white, so he's going to definitely take that. He gets a nice free elimination. The opponent trying to steal those mats gets fried as well, so he's going to get a little bit of it. Doesn't. We're sitting here around not the best amount of mats, about 400. Got a favorable pull for zone. So what are we going to do here? We're going to go look for go look for a refresh, and then harpoon again. So crucial for late game on height. Great way to get mats and solos. We have a lot of movement this season with peppers, with chug splashes or chili chug splashes. But another great way to play is still using that harpoon to grab loot and just get end game refreshes. That's more of a, I can't remember exactly what season, but whatever last season where the harpoon was in, it was a facet of solos. Same thing here with the peppers. This is a meta we've seen before. The meta has not significantly changed this season. It's still pump AR and then just peppers and pads for solos. And then you're going to see, excuse me, what you're going to see again is now using that pepper to do what NoahReyli does best, and that is take high ground. You're going to see the opponent has nothing he can do. And he gets a free elimination to fall damage. And he's going to just get immediately back up. Now he didn't get the mats, but he got what he wanted. He got high ground, right? And then he's super stacked. Does a great job of awareness right there. Someone looking back, someone padding. Bullies him off. Sorry guys, there was an ad. Let's continue. I was talking about good awareness in the back, good awareness in the front. He's doing a great job of getting people that are looking for high ground. Looking for high ground, immediately stops taking minis. Stops that right in the tracks. Realizes he left a scar, but doesn't go for it. Make sure he gets the mats. And these are super, super stacked lobbies. And this is, again, how did he win all these games? By sitting, just taking height, and then pressure. And instead of P90, he has that harpoon. He has that movement item, so no bigs. He's using bodies as refreshers for bigs if needs. But with him playing height, he's probably not going to need it. And then sees someone and pressure, pressure, pressure. Formula doesn't change. Someone much closer that can take height from him. You always got to be cognizant. It's so difficult. If it's not your playstyle and you don't know how to hold height, it is difficult. More difficult than it looks. You think it's easy. You got, especially with launch pads and chilies to deal with. Then using the pepper, maybe if he wants to get ahead. Just spraying anyone off that's near him. Again, just not relinquishing high ground. Just pressuring anyone that's below him, getting them dropped, getting them away. With Night Zone, with all this congestion, you're probably not as worried about, you know, you're not worried about what you would call it. You know, launchpad plays, there's too much congestion of builds to really worry about that. Good environmental awareness as well. Just get what little mats you can. Extend your time on high ground as long as possible. It's a nice little AR kill, and he's just sat there at height. He's been at height since 20 plus people and hasn't allowed anyone. He's warded off any challenge. He's dealt with patters. It's another free elimination. And then he drops here, cuts off, misses a shot, but that's all right. Pre-fires, and then he just boxes off. Now he misses a pump here.
Let's go!
But an insane 4-win W King Clinic and Endgame Clinic. Two biggest takeaways, obviously insane mechanically, but I wouldn't say the mechanics is why he won this solo cash cup. It literally was all his height takes, which allowed him in those super stack lobbies against better players to dominate. Always looking for height and getting those 5th zone refreshes, looking for refreshes. He was 300 builds, he uses a harpoon, gets in, gets a nice refresh, looks for height, he uses peppers to take height. We saw him even attempt a launch pad to take height that wasn't as successful. It got him in 9th place, I believe, in that particular game. And then we saw just the fighting IQ, the awareness, the piece control, pickaxe baiting, all this stuff that you would expect from NoahReyli, but really amplified it in his ability to take height. Well guys, that is going to do it for today's VOD review. I hope that you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. And I hope I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.